Okay, so now let's take a look at statistical displays that are already made for us. And we're just going to answer some questions about them. So first off, we're going to start off with a pictograph here. And it's talking about the varieties of apples in a food store. So we've got some Red Delicious, some Golden Delicious, Red Rome, Macintosh, and Jonathan apples. And down here at the bottom, the key tells us that a whole apple equals 10, and then this half equals 5. So everywhere we see a whole one, that's 10, and wherever we see one that's kind of split like this, that's 5. So question number 1 says, how many Jonathan apples did the food store have? So we're going to come down here to the Jonathan column, and we're going to start counting. I know that whole ones are 10, so here we have 10, 20, 30. We have a half here, and we know that that's 5. So this is 35 apples. Number 2, it says, which variety of apples did the grocery store have the most of? How many did they have of that variety? So we're looking at our chart. This is a two-part question, and we can tell that from our chart, the one that the store had the most of was the red Rome. So that's our first answer, is the red Rome was the one they had the most, and now we need to count them up. We know that these whole apples here represent 10, so they had 10, 20, 30, and 40. So they had 40 of them. Number 3 says, what was the total amount of all of the apples that the food store had? So first off, we're going to count all of these. So I'm going to start counting with just the whole apples, and then we'll go back and we'll count the half of the apples at the end. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 145, and 150. So they had 150 apples at the store. All right, so let's move on. Let's answer some questions about a bar graph, okay? So it says, what was each grade's favorite sport? So we're going to look for the highest frequency for grade 3 and for grade 4. And we know there are differences because grade 3 is the blue bars and grade 4 is the green bars. So if we look at our chart here, the tallest bar or bars for grade 3 was for soccer and for baseball, and they had a tie. So for grade 3, it was soccer and baseball. And for 4th grade, we've got this green one here that's really super tall, way taller than everything else. It had the most frequency, and it's for basketball. So 4th grade's favorite sport was basketball. Let's look at question number 2. How many people liked basketball in grade 4 more than they liked, or sorry, how many more people liked basketball in grade 4 than in grade 3? So in grade 4, we had 30 people, and in grade 3, we only had 5 people. So 30 minus 5 tells us that 25 more people liked basketball in grade 4 than in grade 5, or in grade 3. Last one says, how many 3rd graders participated in this survey? So what we're going to do is we're going to have to go through and count the frequency on all of the blue bars to tell how many 3rd graders participated. So in this blue bar, we have 20, 40, and then we have 15, so that's 55, and then we have 5 here, which is 60. So we had 60 3rd graders participate in this survey. Okay. Well, let's answer some questions about a dot plot. This dot plot is about the number of pets that people have. And so our first question here says, what number of pets did most people have? So when we look at our dot plot, the one that appears the most, the one that has the most dots, is the one that the most people had. So our 2 here has the most dots. So we can say that most people had 2 pets. It says how many people had more than 2 pets. So more than 2 is not going to include 2, but it has to be anything bigger than that. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that had 3 and 4 pets. So 6 people had more than 2. And then our last question says, what is the range of pets that people had? So we had people that had 4 pets, all the way down to people that had 0 pets. So our range was 0 to 4